Hello there. So, I'm wondering if you've watched any of the other videos that I've brought out recently. The one that was 2 hours long, it seriously took me like 4 or 5 days to even upload that. Like, technically I didn't know how to do that. My phone was like, I'm done, I'm out. But yeah, I uploaded that. Um, I'm making this video because I am going through like emotions, and I want to help anyone that's kind of also going through this to just feel not like you're crazy, like you're the only one, like there's something wrong with you. I mean, maybe there's something wrong with all of us, yeah, I, I wouldn't know. But to just have the experience of not being alone, I think that's really helpful. And yeah, I don't really have any advice. I'm actually in a state of just let shit be. Just let it be. If I'm progressing incrementally, that's okay. That's all I can manage right now. So a week ago I talked about addiction, and I talked about my use of marijuana, weed, which is legal in the Netherlands. Um, and after posting about that, so like I said in the last video, like a lot shifts once you start talking about things that have sort of been secret. It becomes possible for more consciousness to, or like light to come into the dark. Like consciousness is like the unearthing, like the unwrapping of whatever is going on there. And often you don't know until you kind of release the tension of having to keep something a secret. So for me, talking about it like that, the next time that I actually smoked, I started to feel really like the tension of how disappointed I actually felt in myself, that I needed to escape, that things didn't feel good enough or felt too scary, or the pressure was too much that made me want to smoke at that moment. And I felt really sad and quite depressed, more than I have before. I also, like I would, when I would smoke, I knew that I was escaping something, so sometimes I would just tell myself, like, if you're gonna escape, just escape. Like, don't like try to escape and then tether yourself down and tell yourself this is wrong, you know. I had, if I was gonna decide to smoke, then just let it, like have that moment of not having to feel the pain. But yeah, after I talked about it, I did feel a lot of pain. And that's not bad, it's just what it is. I think it just allowed me to unearth something more that was going on. So I'm really grateful for being able to make these videos, as this is literally my transformational process. So that is just a little bit of advice, like expressing things gives the opportunity for things in the inside world to shift, for you to come into more understanding or knowledge about yourself. And understanding comes after expressing, like even with emotions. Like don't want to understand things before you experience them. The understanding will come by itself. It'll be like, ah, you know, instead of like, I'm digging because I need to understand this. I mean, I make this mistake all the time. And that's actually the process that I am in right now. Yeah, I felt quite depressed. I felt like I didn't know now what to do. And it took me a long while of days and days of just like feeling actually quite a lot of anger and rage, just not knowing what to do with it, not knowing where it comes from, not even feeling like figuring it out. Like, I just didn't feel like going into my brain and being like, how do we sort this out? It was like my body was saying, I'm tired. I'm tired of trying to sort things out. Just keep things going, just change whatever it is you want to change, just incrementally, and let's just do that. And it just feels like my body is like, just let me go on semi-automatic mode. It's not fully automatic, not like tuned out, but it's definitely not trying to make policies up from above this, like, you know, attic up here that is totally disconnected from the body and just trying to like frantically find answers where life's like showing like, yeah, there's no answer yet. Just, there's no answer yet. There's a whole process going on and you don't get to be there with your shiny, shiny torch figuring everything out. Just let it be for now. So that's basically what I'm doing. That feels right, even if it doesn't feel comfortable. So I'm wondering how you're doing. It is still Scorpio season, so it's very fitting for the Scorpio archetype. It's like the deep diver. It is a bit of a researcher. It wants to like uncover the deepest secrets. So yeah, I am kind of like, a part of me is like going, I wonder what I'm gonna find out in this season. But yeah, like I said, I know that I can't put my brain like in the driver's seat, because my whole body is saying like, fuck that, get out of my seat, you know, out the front seat. It's like, so I'm experiencing something a little bit new. Yeah, what else do I need to tell you about? Oh gosh. Yeah, I was interviewed for a podcast that's coming out very soon. There's a show coming out that I will talk about, you know, once it starts airing. I did a modeling gig that was really nice, and I've got like some little bits of stuff like on my Instagram and Facebook. Like, Instagram would be your best bet if you don't have Facebook. And I did open my modeling YouTube channel, so that's called Joan Model, I think. Joan Albino Model. Yeah, so you can check that out. Yeah, I'm starting to get going with some stuff that I've been dreaming of for a really long time, and I'm not really forcing myself to do all of the actions. This is, now I know what I wanted to talk about. Yeah. It's been a theme because I was in this modeling gig, and it was an interview actually, and the interview is still coming, but it was an interview about what you think about your body. So the theme that I felt is really going on for me right now had to do with that, because when women look at their body, there's this culturally, typically, stereotypical way that women look at their bodies, and it's kind of like as if you would be looking from the outside, not as yourself in the body, but like from the outside, and be like very picky about and critical about what's wrong with it. And this whole column in what I'm going to be interviewed for, and this what the photos were taken for is about the whole criticism on the body, and also like the influence of media on how women look at their body. So it's for Flair magazine. I don't know if it's all over the world, but in the Netherlands and Belgium and stuff, there it's very well known. It's kind of a friendly women's magazine, and it's been around for a really long time. But yeah, in this shoot, I was like going through a metamorphosis of being like, wait, I was here in a similar shoot, like I think it was like 12 years ago or something like that, and I had to go to Belgium for Flair as well, but it was then about my hair, like as an albino, do I have different kind of hair? Not really, but I was still interviewed for it. It was fun. And now I was like in this different kind of shoot, and I was like in lingerie, and I was going around the place like, ha ha ha, you know, I feel good. You know, even if there's things that I want to criticize about my body, they're not, I don't really agree with criticizing anything about the body. And I was just being really, really happy. And I'm gonna post some more on the Joan Albino Model YouTube channel, so if you want to see that, then go over there. But there's this way that we just kind of prod our bodies with a stick, and like as if we're selling this body to the, you know, to the world. It's like, and we're telling this body, like, you're not good enough over here, you're not good enough over there, as if it's like a product to be sold. Like, we are not objects to be sold. It is our soul living in there, it's our spirit living in there, you know. It's like divine technology. Like, what are you doing, what are we doing? Like, yeah, there's this way in which Western culture has like brought this incredible life and body down to a product, a commodity to be sold. And like women will go, you know, in the way that they approach men. I'm not saying everyone, but like it's a very old concept for maybe thousands of years or maybe even longer, that women have been like, I gotta look the best, you know, I gotta get these breasts like that, and they gotta look young, it's gotta be like not be much over 25, and you know, it's like nowadays the stereotypical beauty standard is like either you go very curvy but the waist has to be super small, or you know, I'm just saying, like, and I know as a white woman I get like a lot of attention, blonde, blue eyes, like just put a little bit of makeup on and it's like, huh, you're like you're like top of the list, you know. And I know it's bullshit. I know it's for me it's all about what my inside is, and I'm having to, like, I am really having to wrestle with the monster that I would call yeah, that has kind of crept in and been like, well, this is how we're doing it in the world, you know. And to try and stand for something else. And I don't always manage. And also I enjoy being who I am and getting the attention that I get. But also, like, I don't know, I'm just saying, it's it's not okay to prod ourselves with a stick and criticize, like, as if we're cattle. And even cattle shouldn't be treated like that, right? We all, I feel that way. Like, no one should be treated like that. So what can I say about that? So I was having that experience. I'm just gonna grab this stone that I have over here. Yeah, this is aventurine, I think it's called. I like the shape of it. It's actually a gua shui, how do you call that? Mineral stone. But I have it on my altar to remind me of the green heart. Remind me that everything is, you know, when I put my vibration into loving myself and loving, just being in a love vibration, just understanding that everything is connected to everything, that I know that when I express myself, even on this video, but even on my own, like I need to be self-loving. I need to understand that the way that I act and the way that I think about myself, and these things matter. So yeah, I remember, you know, there are many ways that I have prodded myself and pushed myself with a stick, even beaten myself up with it, you know, metaphorically, obviously. Although I have a streak of like, I don't know, you know, like how you can hurt yourself even like it even starts to feel good. Yeah, I recently also was thinking about how in my family, in the male side of my family, but maybe even on the female side of my family, like my mother's family, I'm not sure because I don't know them that well, that there's a sense of the putting toughness on a pedestal. And even though that can be something very positive, to like be very full of grits, that if like it was so bad, like that it was not okay to be vulnerable in any way. So that was actually a big part in my family line that for me really felt like how I inherited that and how my character has been coming into this life, that I just yesterday I was telling my friend that when I was a 6-year-old, I wanted to go into the army. And yes, I didn't feel like I wanted to go to war and kill people. No, I hoped that that would never happen, and I understood that that's could still happen if you went into the army, but I just felt like I would go through all these grueling things and come out like a G.I. Jane, G.I. Joan. And part of me is fascinated with that. I think it's like in my DNA to be fascinated with that. But I actually, in this life, have to take the wisdom of those stereotypes of the warrior, and really integrate them, really bring them to their highest form, but like also learn the opposite, which is like this is a warrior journey inwardly. And I think a lot of us with complex trauma, like, you need a lot of soul muscle, like it takes so much to heal complex trauma, especially if it happened in early childhood. Like like we're just going into the inner world like with no lights, like like with, you know, like blindfolds on, and like we're having to figure out how all of this works, because like when I was born back in the beginning of the 80s, no one was talking about that. Everyone's like, just shut up and do what you're told. You know, that's how I grew up. And it's like, if you're crying, it's like, you're a softie, you don't deserve to be here. Like, you don't deserve any attention because you're just trying to get attention for being a victim, and victims aren't allowed in the space. You know, you don't grow, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm just saying it really, like, extreme, but that's how I actually felt. It might not have been how my parents or the caretakers or anyone meant that to be, but it was kind of like the world. That's how I felt like the world was being. And if I didn't suck it up and like get with the plan, I wasn't gonna go anywhere. And so I completely adopted that character, and here I am. You know, from around like I have been writing my whole philosophies and like just talking to myself in my journals and like writings. And I've even got, like, I don't know if you've seen in the other videos, but I've got like my floor full of all of these papers, and it's like all of my artwork from the last 30 years is here, everything that I haven't thrown away yet. And now, instead of throwing it away, I'm hoping that I'm gonna make something with it. Like, use it in order to really finish up that whole cycle of hardships and understand that I have been working with this subject for my whole life. You know, encountering a world that just seems very out of it and like a deep inner knowing that this is actually not how things get solved. And participating in that world, taking on like energy forms, I think that those are like, because I would get excited about, you know, being tough. I remember once I was traveling in Australia and this guy, he was German, and he was like, I was working and living in a hostel in Byron Bay. If anyone's been there, like, shout out to Byron Bay. That place is magical. Even like no one understands why, but yeah, Byron Bay. And in this hostel, and I was like, I think I was putting on lipstick. I'm not sure. I have no idea. Was I brushing my teeth or putting on lipstick, or was I washing my face? And it was like a big mirror. I had gone into the men's bathroom because like the women's bathroom was taken. There were too many women like doing their makeup or something, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go into the men's bathroom. And there was this guy, he actually had an accident like years before that, and his whole face had scars on it. And there's something about him that I felt like I was repelled, but at the same time like pulled towards him. I can't really explain. I know why, but it was very mysterious to me at the time. And I had put like my lipstick up up at the mirror, my lipstick, my pocket knife. It was a black Swiss Army pocket knife. And I think I had like a razor blade or something. I don't know. I was like, maybe I was gonna shave my armpits. I have no idea. Like it just looks like a girl who's super tough. And this guy was like looking at me, and he was like, that is so dope. Yeah, I think I had a bottle of beer as well. Like I was drinking beer. And I wanted to be seen as a tough bitch. It's like super far from what I am. Like I'm such a softie. I'm like, I cry at the least. I just want everyone to be happy. I just want to take care of people. Like, but at the moment that he said that, I realized that this is so bad. This is so bad that it's like the tragedy of it is so real. And he was like looking. He had actually, by going so far as to say that it just felt like he was really attracted to that. I think that his scars made him be in this world of like just having to survive specific things, which, you know, we all know about. I know about a lot about. But there's this way of like making the scars into more than what they are. And I think that there is a moment that when that is actually needed, like to honor the scars. But it just felt to me so wrong in that moment, like what I was doing. Like I was just weaving this image that in order to protect myself, in order to feel better, in order to just yeah, I wanted people to see me like that. I'm not gonna go further into that, like why, but it's just like, you know, we act a certain way, we act like we're tough, but I knew that that's not me. I'm like literally looking for someone to be that tough person for me and tell me like, you've been strong all this time and you don't need to be that. You don't need to put up that front and in order to be loved. Like you can just be yourself, basically. And I was like 19 or 18 or 19 or something. And here I am at 43. Still, yeah, really, really working with the same themes. um, and just letting who is Joan show up in the moment that I can, and not like forcing myself to be something, um, even though I might sometimes just by accident do it, or who knows, maybe there is some healthy form of that. I'm finding out, you know, I'm finding out. I don't know the answer to this. But I feel like in my life, maybe one of the themes that I'm really tackling is this way of forcing, like what I was saying, poking with the prodder, you know, like a cattle prodder, like being actually very disrespectful of life, and just with like our Wizard of Oz head, like this overgrown head, saying like, well, I want things to be like this, and I think things need to be like that, which is kind of like how Western civilization, like the whole scientific mind, even though there is like something great to that, to be analytical, but the other side of it, like thinking that you know everything and that it needs to go in this linear way as you have decided in your mind. You know, I'm just saying that I've been doing that for a really long time. And I've been actually doing it because I couldn't get into my body. And so by there being a lack of connection between my head, like my mind, and the rest of me, that is just how I was managing in this really dissociated state. And so all of this to let you know I'm on this journey to let the emotions and the body speak, and that I gotta listen. Just like this great like project that I'm trying to set up, which is a pilgrimage that is all about listening to nature and not enforcing our linear rules that we think are best onto nature, because actually nature will tell us, nature will reflect back to us how shit is gonna go down, whether we listen or not. And like, we better get with the game, you know, and start listening, because like nature has a way of harmonizing, and we are part of nature, and like we can harmonize back into the cycle of nature. Anyway, that's like my talk. That's where I'm at. I hope that you are well. I hope this inspires you. I hope that you have the sunshine lighting up your inner self, and that you are blessing yourself with however your journey is. And yeah, we're all in this. And honestly, anyone who is like trying to solve their trauma, you're a hero. You're a hero. Just, you know, wanting to solve that and just taking it little by little by little, or however you found out how to do it, then, you know, bless you. This is such a big thing. So I don't know why I'm laughing the whole time. I think it's this, like, and being here with you guys. So thank you so much, and see you next time. Hope you're well. Many blessings. Bye.